Bombadillo, bombadillo, bomby bomby bomb, bomb 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 bomb, bombadillo. You like my hat? Looking cool. LFC, that's Liverpool FC. What does it say? Oh, it's got all the dates. It's got all the dates that we won the Champions League. Got this hat. Liverpool won the league. So, went out to celebrate with my mate Deck on Friday night. Got wasted down the field. Had a race, we had a running race, but then I got tired. We were going to jump in the river, but then thought it'd be too cold, so Deck says that I chickened out, but I think he chickened out as well. But yeah, we did get very drunk. I was very hungover yesterday. I could barely move. You know, it was one of those. I was fine when I was horizontal, but could not hack being vertical for an extended period of time. I had tried to get up, have a shower, then I had to lie down again for another hour. Tried to get up, made myself some toast, then I had to lie down again for another hour. Got up to throw up, then I had to lie down again. It was a whole thing. Eventually, by the end of the day, I felt a bit better, and obviously today, I'm back. I'm back, baby, back with a bang. But yeah, Saturday was a write-off. It was fun though. We celebrated, 30 years of her. Live a bird still gleaming, standing on its perch, back where it belongs. Ferguson's crying and Man, you are dying and Liverpool is winning again. Jurgen Klopp. Dancing in the hotel. Did you see that video? Jurgen Klopp dancing, busting some moves in the video. Such a cool dude. Had his cap on backwards. Busting some moves. Okay, so welcome to another episode of Mulling in his own stupidity with me, Dave Mullen. This week we're going to talk about some cake. We're going to talk about Greggs, give you a little Greggs update, dead rat, panda poop, Liverpool winning the league, already spoke about that. Jumping in the river, yeah, done that. Maybe a little Lord of the Rings. Basically the main story of the week is that I found out how much pandas poo every day, because this girl was doing some research into pandas at school for a little project, and she showed me, she said, did you know pandas poo 28 kilograms of poo each day? I was like, no, I did not know that, but I'm glad you told me, because that's pretty crazy. I mean, 28, because apparently they're just eating bamboo all day, so so then they're just pooing, like, I mean, apparently they poo like up to 40 times a day. Like, how would you have any other time to do anything, really? I mean, if you're just pooing that much, I think if we pooed that much, like, if humans, we would just all wear, we'd all wear like nappies, wouldn't we? Because you wouldn't, 40 times, oh yeah, you just come out the toilet, yeah, got to go back in. We wouldn't do that. We'd get nothing done, they're just eating and pooing like the whole. It's not a bad life, but they are going extinct, and I think there's good reason for that, because if you dedicate that much of your time to pooing, I mean, you've got to check your priorities, haven't you? I mean, you've got to look at it and go, you know, yes, we like bamboo, and yeah, you know, we like to poo, but we are also going extinct. So maybe, you know, dedicate some of that time to other things. You know, maybe cut down on the pooing, you know? Because, like, I was thinking, like, if, you know, if a panda goes on a date, I mean, you know, they're not having sex much, are they? You know, they're not doing it that much. They're not reproducing. That's why they're going extinct. And, you know, it's probably got something to do with, you know, the excessive amount of poo that they're doing. Because, yeah, I mean, you know, if you're on a date and it's just like, yeah, sorry, would you excuse me, I've got to go to the bathroom. You just went, oh, you know, actually, I've got to go as well. You know, you'd spend, I mean, if you wanted to send pandas on a date, you just have to do it in the toilet, really. And that's not that romantic. You know, there's going to be a lot of smells going around, especially with 28 kgs worth of poo coming out. I mean, it's going to be hard to get in the mood, set the tone for, oh, come back to my place. You know, it's like we've just, like, you know, spent the whole day shitting. You know, I'm not really in the mood, and actually I need another one right now. So, I mean, it's no wonder they're going extinct. But, you know, someone gave birth to a panda in Edinburgh. There's a panda now in Edinburgh, so, you know, there is hope. But I do think, you know, they do need to just sort this out. Like, you know, maybe change their diet. You know, I know they love bamboo, but, you know, I just think it's not practical. It's not working for them. And, you know, they're very cute, you know. You know, they got the white and the, you know, they sit there and there's a cute video of them, you know, the panda sneezing, but there's a dog-eat-dog world out there, and you just can't, you know, you're not going to survive if you're like, you know, my number one priority, eating bamboo. Number two priority, going to the toilet. You know, it's just, it's not practical, is it? So so yeah, that's what I found out about pandas. That's quite funny. And then this little girl who found this out, her dad dropped her off at the school, and I was waiting at the door. You know, we've got to spray their hands now when they come in, and her dad's really nice, and we were having a chat, and I was like, oh, what did we learnt something about pandas, didn't we? You know, I was telling the little girl, I was like, oh, tell your dad what you found out about pandas. She was like, pandas poo 28 kilograms every day, and my dad poos, and he was like, no, let's not, don't need to go into that. It was funny. Classic bants with the kids. Bants on tap. So that's panda poo. That is really the main story of the week. Other little tidbits for you. I had a nice cake made by Franny Jukes. Franny Jukes is my mate Jukes' mum, and she was always famous for a banana bread. You know, we used to go around, you know, if you're lucky, she'd have some banana bread in a tin somewhere. We could get a little slice of that. But Jukes was always a bit protective over the banana bread. You know, you could tell that it was quite special to him. So, you know, he didn't want us coming around all the time being like, you got any of that banana bread, Jukes? Because he'd be like, oh no, I'm not sure we do have any. And then we'd check and it was in there, because he's just trying to keep it all for himself, you know. You know, I mean, you would. It's nice banana bread, and she was famous for it. But, you know, if I could sniff some banana bread, I was going to get some, you know. So I'd try and, like, get my way round there and be like, oh, right, Franny, you got any, you know, try and cut out the middleman, you know, leave Jukes in the living room watching TV, go to the kitchen and be, you know, start working on Franny Jukes and be like, you got any of that cake for me, you know? But now I got some delivered to the house because my mum had Franny Dukes around, because my mum's friends with Franny Dukes' mum. They're in the choir together, so my mum had all the ladies around, and Franny brought a carrot cake. Oh my god, it was so moist. It was so good, and it was in the tin, and you could, you know, it's like, you know, when a cake's so moist, it's like making the paper underneath it moist, and it was so good. And then I just kept having it all week. I'd come home from work, have a nice bit of carrot cake with a cup of tea. Oh, that was great. Good times, good times. It's been a good week. Oh, bad news this week though. Greg's has not opened yet. Greg's in St Albans is not open, so just thought I'd keep you updated on that. So I haven't been able to get my bacon sarnie yet, but maybe next week. Maybe next week. I think some of the pubs are opening, and you know, and stuff's starting to happen. So maybe Greg's will pull their finger out and make me a bacon sarnie. Also, there was a dead rat. There was a dead rat at the school on the floor, not in the school, it was like outside down. And then it was quite a big one. And then Mr. Edwards, the caretaker, came and picked it up and put it in a black bin bag. And then he was chasing the kids around going, "It's alive, it's alive." That was funny. The news of this week, obviously, already said it. Liv won the league, Liverpool. You know, everyone always said, like, "Oh man, you're a Liverpool supporter. You're not from. You're not. Don't sound like you're from Liverpool. You weren't born within 100 yards of Anfield. That means you can't support them." But fuck you guys, whoever says that, because my mum and my mum's side of the family is from Liverpool, so you can F off, okay? You can F off. I have a legitimate claim, and you know what, even if my mum's family wasn't from Liverpool, I don't even care. You know, anyone can support Liverpool, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be as, like, you know, born in, you know, in Anfield, like, you know, grown up, you know, eating the grass around, you know, grazing on the fields of Anfield Road. You know, you can support Liverpool wherever you're from, alright? And I do. And yeah, so we celebrated by not jumping in the river. I mean, for a long time we've been saying, because, you know, I really started supporting Liverpool properly when I was like 18, 19. And that was just when Liverpool really started getting bad. I mean, obviously we haven't won the league in a long time, but, you know, there was really that kind of, oh, Roy Hodgson, you know, oh God, you know, there was that period where it just got, and that's when I really got passionate about Liverpool, started supporting them. So it's been a good, like, 10 years plus of, like, watching them. I mean, when Klopp came in, I know it's easy to say this, but, you know, now, but I really, you know, I like Brendan Rodgers. A lot of people criticised him and like, oh, it's only Suarez. You know, I liked him. I thought he was good. But, I mean, Klopp, you know, you could just tell there's something different there. There's something special. I do think it was only a matter of time. And that's happened. So, I mean, weird circumstances, obviously. But, you know, to be honest, I would like to go to the parade if they ever do one. That would be fun. I'll try and get up there for that. There was no chance of me, even if like none of this pandemic shit had happened, there was no chance of me getting a ticket to go up there anyway, because like they were all sold out and really expensive. So yeah, you know what, it was nice, like going down the field, me and Deck, a few other peeps, getting pissed. I just took a few beers, but then Tompy brought down like a big crate of like those big Heinekens, like that big. And so when I finished my beers, I was like, Tomps, can I have a cheeky Heine? And then he was like, yeah. So I had a couple of those, and then it was like, oh, Tompy also, he had like a cider in his bag, and for some reason I had that as well. And then it was just like, oh dear, you know, the rest is history really. But you know what? Fuck it. Liverpool won the league after 30 years. I was due a celebration, even though I was massively hungover yesterday. It was fun. Right, last thing is Lord of the Rings. So I've been making my way through this, really enjoying it. I mean, there's no spoilers, you know, most people know the story of Lord of the Rings anyway, so there's not going to be any spoilers, but I am going to talk about, you know, characters that I've met. So, I mean, if you don't want, you know, Lord of the Rings spoilers, you know, turn the video off. But they're not like, I'm not going to give like massive spoilers. I'm only like 200 pages in, but we've met Tom Bombadil, who I don't think was in the films, and I'm sure there was some joke about Tom Bombadil. He's just a funny character. Like one of my favourite lines is like, they come out, he rescues them from this place where all the hobbits got put in like these little white gowns, and then so they don't have their clothes, and he's just like, oh, and then he rescues them and they come out onto the fields, and he's just like, oh, just, you know, they're like, what are we gonna do? And he's like, just run around naked for a bit. And then the next line of like the opening paragraph, the next line is like, and the hobbits had been running around naked like Tom Bombadil told them to, and it's just like, what? But it's quite funny. Tom Bombadil's, he's a weird character. He's kind of like seems to be the master of the forest, and I don't really know what he is, but I don't really want to look it up because I don't want any spoilers. You know, is he like an elf? Is he just a magical man? Is he a wizard? I don't know. But there's a lot of things like that. Like there's the cliffs that like eat people. I mean, what is that? But I guess it's just magical, isn't it? It's a magical book. Just everything's magic, you know. Oh yeah, and obviously we met Strider, who I'm like, oh, this guy seems pretty cool. Maybe he's Aragorn. And then later on it's like, yeah, he's Aragorn. And you're like, I knew that guy was cool. You know, because obviously Aragorn is the cool guy in the movies that all the ladies fancy. Unless they fancy like the blondie elf guy. But, you know, if I was a woman, 100% Aragorn all day long. All day. Don't fuck off elf. Like I'm not even gonna consider that, you know, like with the blonde hair and the pointy ears, and like Legolas. No, Aragorn any day of the week. If I'm in a bar, you know, Aragorn comes up to me and says, hey, and then Legolas is like over across the room, like giving me a little wink. I'm like, who the fuck is that guy? You know, Aragorn all the way. I guess it's a bit like, I don't know whether there was like, you know, when there was that old vampire thing, and there was like, oh, I'm Team Jacob, I'm Team, whatever the other guy, the vampire, I'm Team Rabbit Pattinson. I don't know whether there was that for Legolas and Aragorn. Maybe that was like the original. But yeah, I think I made it pretty clear. I'm Team Aragorn. I would bone Aragorn. You know, I don't know what more you want me to say on that. That's just how I feel. And so we've met him in the book. He's pretty cool, and he doesn't seem to sleep much. He's just kind of there, like always watching out for the little hobbits, which is good because they need that. You know, they got lost in the woods, and they needed Tom Bombadil to save them like twice. Once from the trees, they got eaten by the trees, and Tom Bombadil had to come and sing to the trees. And then once they got eaten by the mountains, and Tom Bombadil had to come and sing to the mountains. But now they ain't got no Tom Bombadil. He's back in the woods where he's the master. So they need Aragorn, who's like a slick man, you know? And I can't wait for something to happen, and Aragorn's just like, hey, don't touch my hobbits, you know? So yeah, I'm enjoying it. And that's that. I'll keep you updated. That's been episode 2 of Mulling in His Own Stupidity. We've learnt about Pandas pooping, Franny Dukes' cake, Liverpool winning the league, and lots of other fun things that happened this week. So yeah, I'll see you next week for another episode of Mulling in His Own Stupidity. Oh, I wanted to read you some stuff from